Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 2P Press Start. I'm your host, GiantKiller, and today we're proud to present episode 27 of our top 5 Hearthstone plays of the week. Now let's get right into the action with number 5. Our number 5 play this week was a submission from Gary P, and it features YamatoHD on Warrior up against Chaos Master on Druid in some ranked action. As we join this play, Yamato is way behind on life and on the board, but he's got a snickety trick up his sleeve and he's about to show off his claws. Yamato starts out by taking out Chaos Master's Taunter with his Black Knight, and follows that up by dropping a Raging Worgen, which he then buffs up with a Charge, and then back-to-back Inner Rages, which give it attack power and damage it, triggering its Enrage and making it a prime target for Yamato's 2 Rampages, which give this snarling beast +6/+6. Now suitably armed to the teeth, Yamato's Worgen goes all Honey Badger on Chaos Master, swinging in twice for 32 damage and the kill. This week's number 4 play was a submission from Dola, and it features Dola on Warlock up against Tor Pelvis on Shaman in some ranked action. As we join this play in action, we see Dola facing potentially nasty Bloodlust next turn from his Shaman opponent, but rather than wipe the board with one of his 2 sweepers, Dola decides to just go ahead and win the game this turn. He starts out by silencing his own Ancient Watcher, giving it the ability to attack. He then resorts to some clever clonery, using his Faceless Manipulator to clone his opponent's Flame-Tongued Totem, giving the Defender of Argus and Ancient Watcher the extra attack power they need to swing through for 10 damage and give Dola the win. Our number 3 clip this week was a submission from Orlando, and it features James up against Hammertech in a rank 14 Priest Mirror match. And unfortunately for James, he's way behind on board and life, and his opponent's showing lethal and then some for next turn. But fortunately for James, his opponent has both of his Northshire Clerics in play, and if this series has taught us nothing else, it's that you never go full Northshire. James starts out the play by firing off a Holy Nova, followed by a Circle of Healing to cause Hammertech to draw 10 cards, burning the rest of Hammertech's deck and dealing a point of fatigue damage. James then proceeds to drop a couple of Molten Giants that have been burning a hole in his pocket, then he Holy Smites and heals his opponent's Drake to cause 2 more draws and 5 more fatigue damage. James finishes his turn with a Mind Blast to the face for 5, and then on Hammertech's turn, the mandatory card draw finishes him off with 4 fatigue damage, giving James the win. And this week's number 2 clip was a submission from Cheape, and it features Cheape on Warlock up against Hoiski on Druid in some European ranked action. And Cheape's found himself up the creek without a paddle, just one shapeshift away from a bitter defeat. But as usual, Cheape's got a trick up his sleeve. He starts out by swinging in with his minions on board for a combined 6 damage, and then Cheape gobbles up his own Sunfury Protector with a Siphon Soul to bring himself up to 4 life. Next, Cheape decides that he's going to raise hell and roasts everything on the board with a Hellfire, which he's able to survive thanks to the Siphon Soul. And then Cheape keeps the flame coming and stops this game with a Soulfire to the face for the win. Our number 1 clip this week was a submission from Mike E and others, and it features Hysteria in a Priest Mirror match up against Evil Inside. And in this play, Hysteria is behind on life, but as he so often does, Hysteria has saved up a handful of cards to help him turn the tide. And that's exactly what he aims to do this turn, thanks to his Gurubashi Berserker, which gains +3 attack power whenever it's damaged. Hysteria starts out by dropping a Wild Pyromancer, then buffs it up and triggers it with a Power Word Shield. He then pokes his Berserker with a Holy Smite, triggering it and the Pyromancer. Then he heals everyone back up with a Circle of Healing so they can withstand more punishment, drawing most of the rest of his deck with his Northshire Cleric, before he kills off the Cleric to avoid the same sort of problem from clip number 3. He then continues to enrage the Berserker with a Holy Smite, a second Circle of Healing, a Mind Vision, and a Thought Steal, and ultimately, like the late Bob Hoskins in arguably his finest work, Hysteria unleashes his Raging Berserker for the kill. And for our bonus clip this week, we bring you Throwing Sharp Objects for Fun and Profit. This play was submitted by Akathla, and it features Akathla on Mage in some ranked action. And as so many games of Hearthstone do, the outcome of this game rests entirely on where that dastardly little gnome is going to throw his knife. Rarick plays a Leper Gnome, triggering Akathla's Mirror Entity. This means the Knife Juggler is going to get one throw to decide it all. If he hits the Leper Gnome, it's game over for Akathla. If he hits face, he wins. And just like he always does, 33% of the time, the Juggler comes through, unceremoniously poking Rarick for the kill. And that's it for episode 27. Thanks so much for watching and supporting our show. Of course, we're always looking for more great Hearthstone plays to showcase on the series, so if you're interested in submitting a play, stop by 2ppressstart.com and hit the Submit a Play link for instructions on how to submit a play into the running for next week's episode. And finally, if you've enjoyed our shows and want to help 2P Press Start grow, please click on that subscribe button to join the always growing and always awesome 2P Press Start family. And we'll keep bringing you more great Hearthstone content right here on 2P Press Start.